I'm Kirsten Allison. Today's flow is very short, mostly standing postures that are going to be good for opening up our hips. When you're ready, we'll begin on our sits bones, the bottoms of our feet touching. This isn't your normal butterfly. You want to push your feet out just a little bit further. Maybe sway side to side on your hips, like just getting up on your sits bones, lengthening your spine, pulling your chest forward. And close your eyes for a moment. Just drop in to this moment exactly where you are. Trying to put away any thoughts or any things we have left on our to-do list. Just putting those away for now, focusing in only on this moment. Grabbing a hold of your ankles, pulling your chest forward, lengthening your spine, dropping your chin towards your chest. Nice big inhale and exhale. See if you can begin to fold forward just a little bit more. And keep your eyes closed, just tuning in towards your body. Try to be in a really calm, peaceful state of mind for this flow. Beginning to round your spine forward now, putting your elbows underneath and your forearms underneath of your shins. Hands come all the way through. Maybe you can wrap them onto the outsides of your feet. Just dropping your chin in towards your chest, allowing the head to drop. Just relaxing, really opening up that back of your spine. Remembering to keep your chin really deep in towards your chest, allowing that space between your shoulders and the back of your neck to open up. Just be here for a moment. Check in with your body where you might be feeling tension, maybe tightness in the spine or in your hips, in your neck. Just wherever it is, just acknowledging it. And allowing it to drop in just a little bit deeper. Surrendering into the earth. Allowing gravity to support you. Every inhale, just acknowledging a new space, and I might be feeling tension and letting it go. Surrendering deeper and deeper. A few more breaths. With your final breath, beginning to wiggle your arms out from underneath of your shins. And you gently taking your hands and walking them back in towards your body. Gently, gently, gently coming back up. Take a nice deep breath. And slowly coming over onto your knees, onto your hands. Finding your body now in the middle of the mat. tucking our toes, lifting our knees, pulling our hips towards the sky, pushing into all 10 fingers. In down dog, being really gentle on your mind, on your thoughts. This is your first down dog of the day. Just deeply bending into your knees, pushing into your fingers, and allowing one heel to pull down towards the earth at a time. Maybe just bouncing your heel up and down towards the ground, just allowing that space to open in the backs of the legs. A nice big inhale, gently stepping your left foot forward all the way through, taking your right foot parallel to the back side of the mat, kind of in like a warrior two stance. You have heel to arch alignment. Instead of coming all the way up, we're just going to bend deeply into our left knee a little bit more, pushing our left knee out towards the outside of the mat. Just bending into it, pulling energetically your gravity in towards the middle of your body, kind of as if you're kind of like pulling the mat, like ripping the mat in half, pulling it away from each side, away from the other. Now, with you continuing to push your left knee out towards the left side of the mat, we're just going to walk our hands kind of in towards the middle, just as far as you can go. It's like you can feel that left leg just building up that heat. Just bending into it a little bit more. Nice deep breaths. And walking your hands back towards the front of the mat, stepping back plank. And just be here for a couple seconds, a couple breaths. So you're pushing your heels away from you, pushing into all 10 fingers, pulling your shoulder blades away from each other, activating your navel, finding a really strong core, and finally stepping our right foot to right behind our hand and our left foot forward, right behind our left hand, and sitting and down into a malasana squat. You might be your heels might be all the way down towards the ground, or you might be up on your toes, wherever you're at is totally okay. Pushing your elbows into your knees, knees into your elbows, palms together, heart, kind of like a prayer hand. And you have your left elbow to right elbows completely in one straight line. You can close your eyes, maybe just wiggle side to side. Just really take note of what is happening within your body and within your mind. Inhaling, planting both hands on the ground, stepping back to a downward facing dog. Hips up towards the sky, deep bend in your knee, pushing into all 10 fingers, and then cycling out one heel towards the ground and then the other. And taking some deep breaths. Your next inhale, bringing your right knee in towards your chest, stepping it all the way through. Left foot now is parallel to the back side of the mat. Again, warrior two, heel to arch alignment. Pushing now your right knee out towards the right side of your mat, bending into it a little bit more, and maybe walking your hands just into the middle. kind of like a fallen warrior. Building up that fire in our thighs. Final breath. And walking our hands back towards the front of the mat, coming back up onto our left toes, stepping back plank. Again, pushing into the mat, heels pulling towards the back side of the mat, engaging your abs, pulling your shoulder blades away from one another. And stepping our left foot behind our left hand, our right foot behind our right hand, and sitting back into Malasana. Once more. Closing your eyes, and again, turning your attention to whatever your body and your mind have to say in this moment. Inhaling and exhaling, dropping our hands to the ground and coming all the way up to stand. Maybe pulling our feet back in towards each other, about hip width apart. And just surrender, rounding your back, allowing your hands to drop towards the floor, just straightening out our legs and just surrendering, just opening those legs up. Inhaling, bringing hands to shins, flat back. Exhaling, bending your knees, planting both hands on the ground, stepping back, and immediately pulling your hips towards the sky in downward facing dog. Down dog is one of those postures that it's not an easy one, but it is easier than the other ones. So we like to call it our resting posture. Just taking our down dogs as a time to slow our breath, slow our heart, and realign whatever might be out. With your next inhale, stepping our left foot to the front of the mat. Returning our right foot parallel to the back of the mat, this time coming all the way up. Checking in that your knee is over your left ankle and you're pulling the back of the mat away from you. Sitting into this, left knee is pointing out towards the left side of the mat. Arms come up parallel to the ground. Warrior two. Maybe sinking in a little bit more into your left knee. Might feel it begin to shake a little. That's good. Inhale, dropping our right hand behind our right leg. Left hand comes overhead, reverse warrior. If this is not comfortable for you, you can always put your hand on your leg as well. Exhaling, returning to warrior two and hinging forward at the hips. Left knee to left elbow, right hand comes up overhead, extended side angle. Inhaling, bringing your body back up. Now watch carefully with my left foot. I'm beginning to kind of turn it in a little bit more. My toes are still going to be facing out. My knees are still over my ankles. Goddess pose. So you could do whatever you want with your arms here. You can put them above your head. You can put them on your thighs. You can make this powerful woman. Whatever you want to do. Just finding some intuitive movement here in Goddess. Inhaling, straightening out your legs. Left foot is now becoming parallel to the top of the mat. Right toes are pointing towards the back of the mat. Now reverse warrior on the other side. Warrior two on the other side. Again, now checking that your right knee is pointing back out towards the outside of the mat. Inhale, hands come above. Pushing now, bending a little bit deeper into your right knee. Inhale, dropping your left hand behind your left leg. Right arm comes overhead. Reverse warrior. Inhale, returning to neutral. Hinging forward at the hips. Right elbow to right knee. Left arm comes overhead. Extended side angle. Inhale, returning up, straightening out your right leg, and returning into a goddess pose once more. Inhale, wherever you want to put your arms, it's up to you. I like putting them on my legs so I can kind of wiggle my shoulders in a little bit. Inhale, standing all the way up, putting our hands to the ground, stepping back, plank, and immediately going back into downward facing dog. What a beautiful place to rest. Slowing our breath and our heart. Checking in with our thoughts and our mind. Inhale, bending into both knees, pushing into your fingertips in the beginning out to pull both heels now towards the ground. Inhale, glancing forward, pulling our right knee in towards our chest and stepping all the way through. Dropping our left knee towards the ground, tops of the foot is on the ground. This low lunge. With your fingertips on the ground, maybe beginning to take your left shoulder forward, kind of doing this slight twist, glancing towards the right and even maybe to the back side of the mat. Seeing if you can just feel any of this fascia in your left hip, just opening up, moving about, finding more space. Remembering to breathe into whatever tension you have. Inhale, planting both hands on the ground, tucking your left toes, lifting your left knee and stepping back plank and immediately switching sides. Left knee in towards chest, stepping all the way through. Right knee towards the ground, top of right foot on the ground as well. Low lunge on the left side. Again, just wiggling your hips a little, side to side. Bringing one shoulder forward. Maybe let's do your right shoulder this time, glancing out over towards the left back side of your mat. Maybe closing your eyes, just going inward and checking in with yourself. Inhaling, planting your hands on the ground, tucking your right toes, lifting your right knee. And this time, instead of stepping back for plank, just bringing our left shin towards the ground for a pigeon. And sitting up here, beginning to just wiggle side to side. Toes are pointing instead of being flexed. Just finding whatever intuitive movement feels good. Maybe closing your eyes and just following down into your body, into your left hip, your right hip, wherever you're feeling something. Shifting our right shoulder in and our left shoulder out, kind of doing this little side twist. Maybe walking our fingers over towards the left side of the mat, glancing out towards the left. Just seeing if you can find any juicy spots in your fascia, in your hip, in the back of your leg. Coming back to neutral, maybe this time taking your fingers out towards the right, stretching, breathing, staying present. Inhaling and returning to neutral, coming onto your forearms. Just taking some deep breaths to fall deeper into this posture. Your next inhale, putting both hands on the ground, tucking your right toes and stepping back to plank. You can just wiggle out your legs a little bit and immediately bringing your right knee in towards your chest and dropping your right shin towards the ground for pigeon on the other side. Again, here up on our fingertips, allowing your hips to drop towards the earth. Maybe this time bringing our left shoulder in, right shoulder back, and beginning to walk our fingers out towards the right. Focusing in on your hips again, seeing how they feel. And beginning to walk your fingertips over towards the the left this time. And returning to neutral, maybe this time on your forearms or on your forehead to the back of your hands. Inhale, but gently walking yourself back up, planting your hands underneath your shoulders, tucking your left toes, stepping back, and dropping both knees to the ground, and very gently coming over onto your sits bones in the middle of the mat. Your feet are a little bit further away and gently just rolling one vertebrae at a time all the way onto our backs. And finally, surrendering into the earth. Palms are facing up towards the sky. Your toes might be dropping out towards the outsides of the mat. Surrendering into the earth, trusting that the earth will hold you. Now is the time to surrender. Now is the time for your body to absorb all of these beautiful and courageous and kind things that you just did. This movement, this presence. Now is the time. I invite you to stay here in Shavasana for 3 to 5 minutes. It's an honor that you would join me in my practice and allow me to be a part of yours. Namaste.